Day two, day two, day two, day two. Day two, day two. Let's go. That baby is 2 days old. Yes. Okay. The sweat in my palms was distracting and my breath felt heavier than usual as I was typing. Hi, my name is Angélique Binet. I am so excited to be part of this extraordinary group of women. I can't wait to learn from each of you. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to invest in myself. So glad I was able to borrow money from my parents. I remember hesitantly typing these words. My first post in the Facebook group of the high ticket mastermind program I had joined. As I clicked post, a cocktail of excitement and apprehension bubbled inside of me. I was about to swim with the big fishes, savvy entrepreneurs, many of whom were reveling in the glory of their seven figures revenue. In their expansive presence, I felt smaller than small. Yes, there was a fire of determination burning within me. I knew I was in the right place, even though it felt so uncomfortable. Some days I would have rather stayed a fly on the wall, but I was here to learn, to grow, and to transform from a baby entrepreneur into a shark. The next day, beaming with eagerness and curiosity, I logged into the Facebook group only to find that my introductory post had vanished. I noticed a message on my phone from the program's founder. Hey, Queen, this is not a place to play small or talk about how you funded your entry into this caliber of mastermind. Thus, I deleted your post from yesterday. Those words stung like a slap. It was a harsh introduction to the unspoken codes of the Millionaire Club. As I absorbed the blow, I realized the enormity of the journey I had upon. I was like a fledgling in the nest of eagles, vulnerable yet poised for a great leap. My ego felt bruised. I was overwhelmed with feelings of inadequacy. They knew now that I was a woman with fears and naivete about the world of business. Oh no, what if they find out about my bartering services for apples? I fretted internally. Until a few months before getting into the group, I was exchanging some of my advertising services for fresh apples. Money, both spending it and making it, was scaring the hell out of me. It was a moment of feeling incredibly small, yet recognizing the vast expanse of growth awaiting me. Over the next 12 months, I embraced this journey wholeheartedly. I started to raise my prices and I no longer accepted apples as payment. I structured the acronym now at the heart of my business, V.I.S.I.B.L.E, and started to build the foundation of my group program. Though I couldn't speak of how I'd borrowed the $25,000 from my parents to join, I was immensely grateful for the group's support. This experience transformed my business approach and the way I invested in my company as well. I was finally running my business the way I wanted to, and it was working. For the first few months of the program, I remained a silent observer. But it didn't take long for me to realize that many of these successful women shared my fears, especially about becoming visible online, raising their price, or going on stage at conferences. The revelation was astonishing. These powerful, accomplished women were grappling with imposter syndrome just like me. It was a turning point, a realization that bridged the gap between us. Then there was that Tresilit. She was an enigma and constantly reminded us that she never let fear dictate her actions. Oops. Her actions, where I am. Um, yeah, she seemed invincible and almost intimidating. It would take years before I mustered the courage to speak to her. But the most profound shift came from how I was treated within the group. Contrary to my fears of being seen as a novice, I was respected and valued as an equal. The coaches addressed me as if I had already achieved the success I was aspiring to. It was a revelation. I felt seen and acknowledged, which opened up to even more possibilities. The defining moment, however, occurred at a retreat in Mexico just before the world shut down in 2020. First, I had to embrace the vulnerability of sharing with my family that not only was I spending tons of money I didn't have on myself, but some of the training was in Mexico. This was a totally foreign concept to them and to me. I didn't know much Spanish beside the basics, and I had never been to that part of the world. To tell you the truth, I felt a lot of shame and guilt. I didn't know how to tell my family and colleagues I was going away for a business retreat because I was terrified they were going to judge me. It was my first time away on a business trip for my own company, and I was projecting my fears onto everyone and everything around me. But I knew deep down I needed to go, so I did. Stepping out of my taxi into the hot Mexican night, the resort was pulsating with music and lively conversation when I arrived. Once I was checked in, I found myself heading toward the VIP section. I chuckled to myself a little. Wait, I'm a VIP? There is no way this little girl from the farm belongs here. But sure enough, I was in the right place with the right people who knew how to make strategy into reality. The air was thick with talk of tactics and processes and business legacy, all the big words that I still felt too small for. The women were sharing examples of massive launches they did and talking about their podcasts and books, bringing leads and clients. So this is how it's done. I thought to myself as I sipped my champagne and focused on looking like I belonged. Then the unexpected happened. My coach, in all her wisdom, decided it was time for tarot cards and discussions about the divine feminine energy. Tarot cards. I thought to myself, well, here in the midst of all this business talk, I stifled a giggle. It felt like switching from a business seminar to a mystical retreat in the blink of an eye. As the cards were drawn, revealing their ancient wisdom, I felt a shift within me. This isn't just about predicting the future, it's about connecting with the desire that all of us here in Mexico have in our hearts and connecting with that energy in the present. The insights from the tarot dove deep into what it truly meant to be a successful entrepreneur. It was a revelation to me. Success wasn't only a number in a bank account or a title on a business card. It was about the guts to stand up to our fears, to dance with them and lead them towards something meaningful. This revelation hit me square in the gut. Success was about humility, about understanding that whether you're a millionaire or just starting out, we are all navigating the same emotional landscapes. We're all trying to find our footing on this unpredictable path of life and business. That retreat was more than just a learning experience. It was an alchemy of emotions and breakthroughs. It dismantled my long held beliefs about wealth and success. No more putting people on pedestals because of their bank balances. No more feeling like an outsider looking in. I am just as capable, I told myself, and I'm just as deserving. From then on, I started to embody what I'd learned, speaking, breathing, showing up, and thinking like the millionaire I knew I could be, and surrounding myself with people who felt aligned to my goals. It was like stepping into a new pair of shoes, ones that fit just right and were made for walking the walk of success. Gradually, I cut ties with my old friends, shame and guilt, and started embracing new connections with visibility, vulnerability, and growth. It was liberating, like shedding a heavy coat. I would worn for far too long. Here's to being seen, being vulnerable, and to growing. I want to stay in this energy always. I thought to myself as we were celebrating the end of the retreat. That experience was a getaway to a new me, to a new understanding of success, and to a new journey towards becoming the person I always meant to be. That was chapter 2. So nice to see you here. Good morning. Hello, Charlotte. And I see your name. Maybe you're on another channel. I see there are multiple people. Hello, I'm so happy to see you. So today we did chapter 2, and I'm going to have a sip of coffee. And I just want to say that in that book, I have a lot of reference to a lot of my coaches and mentors. I don't name all of them. You just heard a name. This one is, I think, the only one named. So, but yeah, so part of something that I discovered in the last 10 years is that you got to get help. And I will always remember my very, very first coach that is mentioned in the book as well. Is it was something that I felt completely foreign to me. Like the idea, I remember it was $1,000 for 3 months. And when I look back, I'm like, my very first coach needed the me I am today. Like, if you work with me, you don't undercharge. So, but I remember that day, that weekend, I had to make a decision. And I honor the version of me, like from that day. And I said yes, because whether it's $1,000, $25,000, $100,000 to get support, I think it requires the same depth of, number one, risk, but belief in yourself and betting in yourself. And so that's one of the stories here. That was my next level, so that was maybe my third, no, that's my second coach, the story that you just heard, that I'm still in touch with, that I'm still attending some of our events. Yeah, like if you don't have help right now in your business and in your life, and you've been like wondering how you could do that, like just lean in, because it's so much easier, so much easier. And I think the analogy I like to give is this: like, you cannot read the label of I would say a bottle of wine, because I like my wine, but from the inside. That's why we get coach and mentors, because they see us from the outside, so they can kind of see what we don't see. And this is just beautiful. So I'm gonna read the back of the book. So today the priority is get the book. It's free. So yesterday I was saying it's free, but it wasn't. It was false publicity. The book was zero something, or $1, €1, like. But today, and I didn't check yet, but I'm pretty sure it's today, tomorrow, and the day after. It's free for 3 days. So not only grab it, download it, but share it with your other female entrepreneurs and leaders. In this book, there is ways to unlock maybe misconception about what visibility means. And that book is also really inviting you to join me live with me here, but also to invite me to conversation, maybe privately, or literally my dream is to go to communities and talk with women entrepreneurs and leaders about visibility. And I would, of course, the book would be with us, because that's kind of the framework that I use now to talk about visibility. But so if you want to invite me in your community for a workshop, or in your living room with friends who want to have like that bond for an evening where we talk about visibility and we have fun, right? Talking about fun. If you want to have fun and win stuff, in our Facebook group, we have a game right now. We have actually 5 people who are like at the top of the game. So for every action you take to promote the book, whether it's buying the book, downloading the book, and when I say buying, can be free buying as well, Anything you do, sharing a post, inviting me live, I give you a star. Like at kindergarten here in Canada with my son when he was at kindergarten, they had a star every day and they could be the star of the day. But then and then I track every day. So make sure that you go to the Facebook group. There is a pin post where that explain what to do, screen capture everything you do, use the hashtag SMLbook and put it exactly under that post that explain what are the rules. It's not really the rules, but the rules of the game. And then you can win a free online visibility strategy session with me of an hour. It's the value is 500 USD. Then you can win this guy, which is a Yeti mic for your videos and your podcast. And then there is also an amazing. I cannot. I could show you here, but Instagram. I'm live on Instagram as well on that tripod, but I want to show you here. You see, this is a tripod, right? But it's also retractable, and then this become one, and then it is actually a selfie stick. It's very sturdy. So you have 3 amazing gifts. All you need to do is to come to my Facebook group. I'll put the link in the comments. Okay, I don't want to break anything. Give me a second. Voila. Here we go. Sorry, Instagram friends. I'm shaking the phone here. So on Instagram, the link to my Facebook group is in the bio. And here, I can put it probably here pretty quickly because it's on every post I post. But this morning, I don't think I put it there. So I'm going to give it to you because it's fun. Okay, how do I cannot go to my Instagram. That's weird because I'm live. That's probably why. Okay. Where is my link tree? Here we go. Link tree. Follow link. Join my free Facebook group, Becoming Visible. And so, yeah, and once you're in the group as well, beyond the book launch, we have special activities from time to time in the group. You're kind of in the inner circle. Here we go. I put it in the comments right there. So if you don't know me yet, I'm going to read my bio because, I really hope these videos, I'm going to go live multiple times today as well. Gonna and land in your feed and you don't know me and like, who's that girl? Well, Angelique Binet is an online visibility strategist for women entrepreneurs who want to fall in love with their fear of becoming visible. She's also a bestseller author, TEDx speaker, podcast host, paid media strategist, and founder of Social Media Love. She has over 30 years of experience in journalism, communication, and digital marketing in France and in Canada at organizations like Radio France Internationale, Le Figaro, and CBC, Radio-Canada, and other outlets. Her illustrious career in media was followed by getting certified as a trauma-informed practitioner. She worked with women entrepreneurs on mindset and online visibility content and strategies. That's me. So Are You Visible is really more, I'm just going to read this, okay? Is more than a book. It's an intimate exploration of vulnerability, courage, and the transformative power of self-belief. Self-belief, whatever it means for you. Through Angelique's eyes, we experience the trials and triumphs of embracing one's divine power in a world that often asks women to remain unseen and unheard. Angelique Binet, now a successful business owner, speaker, best-selling author, and an online visibility expert, shares her story with a raw honesty that is as refreshing as it is inspiring. Yeah, so talking about raw, when I wrote the book, my mission was to find 10 of my deepest stories. And so yesterday I had a conversation about, how much of your story do you bring in your public life, whether you're a business leader, a business entrepreneur. Um, and then here's my kind of my definition, or my how I draw the line. Basically, is that whether you use that in your marketing or writing a book, you can bring all the stories of your personal life that shaped who you became as an entrepreneur. So that means we're not talking about the wounds that are bleeding right now, that you're still navigating, that you're still going through, that you're not even ready to heal them. You're just feeling them, which is part of the healing, right? Um, but you bring those wounds that are scars, and it doesn't have to be traumatic, right? But if it is a trauma, originated story, then I would make sure that it's healed, right, rather than bleeding, because you don't want your post to be a emotional dump, because emotional dump are amazing, but for you it's part of how you use your body to heal, right? It is not the goal of marketing. When you have scars, and I was giving the analogy that my son is into mountain biking, and when you hear the mountain bikers between them, they're kind of, it's like a trophy to have scars, how many times they fell and then got surgery and maybe have some iron, not iron, but plaque in their body, right? It's kind of a trophy. So as an entrepreneur, we all have scars, whether it's related to our business or some stuff in life that really shaped who you became. So um, this is why, it's really key to to it's really key to draw that line. Because the other thing is that when you start to be vulnerable, and I think it's Brené Brown who said that, when you are vulnerable, you build connection, right? Because people see you're normal, you're like them, because we are all trauma ambulant, like whether it's big T or small T trauma, all of us. And so, yes, that's why in marketing, when you bring your own story, it works, because people identify. And then suddenly, as I was saying yesterday, the sensation of belonging ignites. And when you belong, you take action from that place of kind of more confidence. And one way of feeling or inviting the other one to belong to your community is to showcase who you are and where you come from and how it shaped, how your methodology, your approach in business. So that's why bring your scars, but don't bring your bleeding wounds. Otherwise, what happens? People are going to start to have pity, not pity, but like they're going to say, poor you. And that's not the goal of storytelling in marketing. It's to your stories, your personal stories, the one that are healed, the one that are now your scars, the one you honor and you thank life to have brought you the thing that at the time was really a bummer and sucked, and you were mad and pissed at them, right? But now they're healed and they shaped who you became. And that is the story that shows people that anything is possible. When you went through something, you can kind of tell the story so that people see themselves in the story, and maybe they're in that similar situation, and you are the proof that it is possible to get out of it, and not only get out of it, but build something beautiful out of it, right? I think it's a French poet, I don't know how you say that in English, but Charles Baudelaire, one of his poetry, like the top is les fleurs du mal, so the flower of evil. So from something that's out, this is, how we build beautiful things. Now, I don't say that you need to be in a bad situation to build something amazing. It's not what I mean, but I'm trying to show you what is the line of what you share or not publicly in your social media content or in a book. So that was my line. Now, today, so if you can get the book, it's free for 3 days. And then if you can leave a review. So my amazing team that helped me launch and write the book, they say, Angelique, the big ask for today is the reviews. So I'm going to share with you how I review people, books that I haven't read fully at all, but I still make an amazing review and that speaks to my heart and that speaks to the person who need to read the book. So um, the thing is, right now I have friends who are launching books. I think I have 8 friends who have books. So I don't have time like to read 8 books right now, but I will, you know. So what I do, and I do that, I think that's a perfectionist in me, or the schoolgirl who wanted to have the good grades. Um, I had a tendency, and now it's not like that anymore. But if you were giving me a book, I would read from very first page to the very last page. Otherwise, in my mind, I was putting myself under pressure that I didn't read the book. If I didn't read the whole book, I didn't read the book. Now I have a complete different approach to how to read a book. So, number one, I trust my intuition way more now that I'm 49. So you want to know something? When I went to buy my champagne yesterday to celebrate my book, I was asked my identity card. I'm like, are you kidding? Well, I see that you're under 30. I'm like, really? That was the funny story of the day. I'm like, sure, I'll show you my ID. What am I saying? Oh, yeah, how to read a book without reading a book. I'm joking, but kind of not. Because sometimes I have an attraction for a book and it's like thick. This one is not thick, it's 87 pages. But usually I read the first chapter and then if it resonates with my heart, I feel it right away. And then if I don't have time to do the full thing, I'm going to pick any random page and go for it. And then if it's still really like tapping exactly what I was looking for, and like I finish the chapter and then I do another one like that. And that really helps me to get what I need. And then the next day or the next week or the next month or the next year, I still have the book because I love paper books. And there is a reason why you have a book. And maybe you've never read it before. You just have a peek at it. There is some pages that's gonna be like you're gonna be flooded of, I don't know, ideas, love, or whatever comes out of the book, right? So you don't have to read the full book to leave a review. Read whatever feels good. Read the beginning, I would say, like the first chapter, and then a few extracts until you have the full time to really go in your beach lawn chair and read the full book from that place of I have so much time, I'm going to take notes and stuff like that. Because I know that you are here because you want to learn more about me, you want to support me, and you want that baby to be seen by more people on Amazon. And one of the things to do that fast, because we have 3 days on Amazon to really rank the book. Yesterday we did amazing. We did number one in 2 categories. We did almost number one in France the day before it was published. So just continue to bring so much love to the book because it responds. And I think there is a big need and a thirst to talk about visibility. And in the book, I also talk about, how we are right now in 2024. If you look at the story of how women were and still are in some places always dimmed down when they talk because they're too loud, because we have a way to express ourselves that is different from others. And there is not one that is bad or wrong, but the generational trauma of this and, that season in history where women were burned or because they were witches and all those traumas are still within us. And so no wonder why when you show up online, you're like, am I going to be burned? Basically, right? Because the thing is, when you start to be confident and share your truth, there is that fear of rejections that comes in, that fear of being judged and abandoned. Remember, one of the key thriver things for humans is to belong. Otherwise, they die out of the tribe. It's like the wolves, right? So that fear of rejections and abandonment by your people online, by your peers, because a lot of you had a career before becoming an entrepreneur, and then now there are people from your past career that are looking at you like they're looking at me, and I still have a career right now. I still belong to an amazing organization where we do marketing, but I had to learn to overcome the fear of being judged because my mission is way bigger than my fears. The work I do with women entrepreneurs in France and now in New Zealand and then in the US and in Canada and in the UK, I'm not allowed to stop because I'm scared for myself when I see the impact on those women. Because not only you work on your marketing, on your visibility online, but as I told you, the book is about when you become visible to yourself, your online visibility is going to unlock. Number one, no more, I don't know what to say. No more, I don't have time to post. No more, I'm not good enough. I'm not an expert. I don't have a PhD in this. I don't have a PhD in that topic, so I cannot do a TEDx. That was me before. I don't have a PhD in this. I don't have like that mega school in my back pocket, so I'm not good enough to be on a TEDx stage or write a book, right? That's my second book. So if you have anything like this that is stopping you right now, or I need things like I need to redo my website before I start selling that mega offer I have in the bottom of my heart, this is a sign that you are resisting and that you are just making up stories. And I'm not saying that to be mean or anything. It's how we work. We tell ourselves stories. And now that I'm, this is the work I do, like I see everybody tell stories, including myself. But each time you say something like, it's not the right time, or, oh, it's summer is coming, I don't have time to do that program. That's something, yeah. So that's a beautiful story. Summer, winter, fall, when you're ready to transform, there is no season for this. And if you want to go to the beach and transform, you can do both because you can have it all. You can have it all. So each time you see yourself saying no to something is not the right time, you really check where you're coming from. Are you coming from a place of lack, of separation, of insecurities, or are you coming from like a hell, like, yeah, that's exactly me right now, and I don't need this. And this is something you build, and this is you can build only and only when you become visible to yourself. So this is the work we do in Magic with Social Media Love, where we really reprogram everything about you, about your past, about your childhood, about everything you think right now that brought you to today, which is awesome. But we kind of bring your current self, we put your current self actually on a speedboat and she goes away so that the new you, and we don't just do it fast like that. There is a process to it, right? But you're going to emerge as a new person. And even though you're going to be still thinking about like you used to think, you're going to hear yourself saying things with a new way of saying it that you're like, oh, is that me talking? Yeah, it's going to be physical, it's going to be cellular, it's going to become you as you move towards the transformation. That's why the retreat that I talk about in the book in France is called transformation. Because you transform not only, it's not about just thinking and believing, and like you transform literally your body. Like, so my body, for example, each time I get to a milestone, and that's a story a narrative I need to change in front of you right now, because it's not me anymore. So I'm teaching my body right now that each time I become that new level of me, it is safe. I don't need to go to ER. I don't need to go and be sick. I don't need to have a fever. I don't need to block my lower back. I don't need to feel that I'm gonna die. Like my body is getting accustomed. I'm saying this because the launch of the book is a milestone, and the TEDx as well, which was like everything in the last 7 days. And I didn't get any symptoms that I usually have, which are very strong usually, where my body's like, no, we can't do this. We can't. Helen, merci. um, so you have to bring your body with you. Whatever you're gonna do in your business, in your visibility, you gotta bring your body. And that's the story of my body, basically. Your body is, there is a book called The Body Keeps the Score, right? And this is really, really key. Hi, Rebecca, because your body, and this is why, if you do everything from your head, if I had written that book from my head, or if I had done the TEDx from my head, I would probably be dead. Because every time you do a next level thing, something that you think is impossible, but you learn how to do impossible things. That's the work we do here at Social Media Love, how to do impossible things with visibility, with business, how to build a relationship online that doesn't block your throat, that doesn't block your body. How do you fall in love with your audience? Like, I literally can feel the love here online. Every step of the way, you are showing up with me, for me. And this didn't happen just today. It's been 10 years in the making. 10 years. So stop believing that there is a magic pill. Show up, and show up with your body, not with your head. Because your head is going to cut every emotional attachment resonance with your audience. If you don't bring your emotions, so for example, if you decide to, okay, today, like Angelique keeps talking about being visible, I'm going to be visible. So if you do it today from a different place, maybe even you've been visible, but it doesn't work for you. So I would bet that it's not about the strategy or the tactic, it's about who you are inside of you. Yes, because especially girls, we have, good grades at school, or how if you don't have good grades, you're a bum, which is terrible, right? But we've been raised like this. So maybe you're one of those good girls who's going to do the best at school and have the best grades, and then that's going to be your identity. So when you come to social media and you become visible, if you don't get any engagement, you're a bum. That's what your body remembers from school. So of course you don't want to show up, because you know what? At first, there is nobody who seemed to be around, but there is always someone watching. Always. And you never know who it is. Again, I'm going to repeat, most of my premium clients, okay, never engaged with me before buying from me. But they knew exactly what I was about because they were watching, but I didn't know. Okay? So today, there is someone watching whatever you're doing, and you got to believe and trust and connect here. For me, I connect here. Connect with that person who needs to hear you today. So I'm going to share another story. And then if you want to go live with me and ask me question, I forgot to tell you, please tell me in the comments, tell me live, and I'll send you the link to come live with me. We have 20 minutes in front of us. So there is time if you want to come live with me and ask me question, or even, I'm open to do a little bit of coaching if you need, because at a special time right now, I booked all my calendar is about that baby and about you, because this is for you. As I told you yesterday, the the placeholders on social media are not long enough for my post to pour into you what I want to say. So I wrote a book. And it's not that of the thick book. It's 87 page. And again, you read it by pieces and pieces. Actually, you read it once and then twice and then as many times as you need. There is a book right now that I discovered through another coach of mine that I read every day. I didn't yesterday because I was fried. But I read 10 pages a day. It makes such a difference. 10 pages a day of something that you know is the foundation of who you want to become. So the more you train your mind and your body to be like in that environment, in that vibe, because most of us, we have lives, and in our lives, everything is not perfect at all. So how do you keep your mojo in your business to so that external circumstances don't come and let your internal world change? Because your internal world is meant to blossom. There is no other way. So this is the work we do together. None of the external circumstances can come and shadow your inside, because your inside is where your mission is gonna blossom, right? So this is why it's important to get surrounded by amazing people, surrounded by amazing books and podcasts, and then do anything that makes you feel alive, like a walk in nature, right? So, what I wanted to say, it was about, you never know who's watching. Because, so one of my very, very loved coach, she had a very tumultuous relationship with social media. And then some months she would say, okay, I'm going to get off social media because I don't like that energy. And then after a month of being on social media every day, I was not buying from her at the time, but I was feeding everything out of the post she was posting and the live she was doing. And that's really when it hit me. Like, she had no idea of how much what she was posting was inspiring and dictating actually the trajectory of my day, because she was exactly hitting the spot. She was inspiring me at the right time, and everything was right. And then on some day she said, well, enough of Instagram. Instagram is becoming this and this and that. And she said, I'm gonna go off Instagram. So I reached out and said, well, do you know that I don't know about what Instagram is doing, but I know what you're doing to me. Every day you post this and this and that, and so it's kind of, you are one of the goal of my day is to go on Instagram and see what you have to say today. And there is someone like that for you too. So please stop telling stories about how Facebook is bad, LinkedIn has changed, Instagram is this. If you say you want to use the social media tools, use them, and stop paying attention to the algorithm and stuff. Show up for that one person. That's it. Do it messy, do it with no strategies, show up. Then get someone to help you with a strategy. But show up, because there is always someone watching. And just to close up on that coach, that is an amazing coach and millionaire. She's now on social media all the time, but she needed to do that her own journey around social media. But social media is what you want social media to be to you. And the more stories you bring around social media is bad, social media is good, the more time you waste and energy you waste, and communication you cut from you and that person who needs to hear you today, right? And also, you don't have to use social media. So if you hear yourself every day like bitching against marketing and social media and the online world, ask yourself, do I want to be there? Because the answer might be no, and that's okay. There are so many ways to market, so many ways. You don't have to be on social media. It's pretty cool because it goes far and it's free if you don't use ads, right? So you decide. It's like in life. You decide who comes in your living room. You decide who are your friends. And you decide who from your family you want to keep around or not. This is, radical personal responsibility. Keep the thing that makes you grow from within and nurture that belief that you are meant for everything you desire. And nurture that, nurture that, nurture that. Okay. So if you guys want to come live with me, put in the comments, and maybe I don't see all the comments. So I'm going to check. Give me a second. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody because sometimes with StreamYard, you don't see all the comments. Okay. I don't see any comments. So, okay. Oh, I'm going to show you one here. My sister, Charlotte, she says, hello, Bélanger. Charlotte is, so my sister, and she also is a member of Social Media Love as a creative designer. So she's one of my VAs. And if you need a VA, she's amazing. And then also, she is one of my students. So you would have told me that I would have my sister as a student. I would have said, are you crazy? But this is the beauty of, when you start to become who you really are, there is no boundaries and there is no sister. There is just love. There is like whoever you want to help, you're going to help them. And so that's just beautiful. I just wanted to share this. And if there is any coaches here who have their siblings as clients, let me know. And yeah, and so my sister is a client, so she's not treated differently than a client, and that was a learning curve for me, but so beautiful. Yes. Okay. So, visible. Are you visible? What happens in your business when you start showing up for yourself? Well, first, you're going to get the book. Second, you're going to have a peek at the book, download it, and you're going to leave me a review, because when we leave a review today and tomorrow, Amazon's going to be like, okay, let's show more of these two more women entrepreneurs. I'm going to show you some of the Amazon, some of the previews. I got amazing reviews from beautiful friends. So in the US, Amazon right now, we're number 11 in the category called in two hours business and money short read. So they qualify my book as a 2-hour business and money short read. So, and then we are 13 in women in business, and then we're 14 in 2-hour biography and memoir. That's so cool. And then, so we have two beautiful reviews. So we have Claire Lidome, who is a friend and who he's part of the Social Media Love family as well as a client. And he was an amazing leadership and healing coach. She says, Are You Visible by Angelique Binet is not just another self-help book. It's a deeply inspiring journey that challenges and empowers you to embrace your visibility and harness your inner strength. From the moment I picked up this book, I was captivated by Angelique's raw honesty and compelling narrative, which shines through every page. This isn't just a tale of triumph, it's a roadmap for anyone grappling with self-doubt. Her words are not just encouraging, they are a call to action. Unlock the boundless potential within you and will your power and be unapologetically yourself. And we have another amazing coach, business coach, Sally Arias, another friend of mine. And she says, in the title, she says, women in business need to read this. It seems we've been conditioned our entire lives to play small, play by the rules, and maybe even be invisible. But how do you step into your power, impact the world, and live a deeply fulfilling life if you're being invisible? Angelique is a powerful voice in this space, helping women to find, recover, and amplify their voices because it's time. Definitely a must read. So, Sally and Claire, thank you so much for these amazing reviews. Like, it brings tears to my eyes because it's just amazing and so nice, and I just love the impact that that book gonna have. Yeah, it's so cool. Okay, so now I have another 5 minutes. If you want to come live with me, you can just say live in the comments and then I'll bring you live. Okay. And then you can ask question. You can just say hi. We are here to build community. We are here to build community. And also, so yesterday we had Michelle Sullivan, another coach from North Carolina that came on. Oh my God, Ellen, you ordered 3 copy paperback. In future, I will want you to sign a copy. Of course. Yes. Love it, love it, love it. So that's awesome, Ellen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And so today I'm going to be live 3 times as well. So today, like the morning, I want to do the reading. I read the book. And then at lunch, I will come back. And then if you want to come back live with me, so it's going to be around 11 a.m. EST. Please come with me. I want to talk to you. I want to hug you. And let's talk about visibility and what it means for you, what you're looking for, and where I want to hear what is your desire around visibility. If you were fully visible, what would that look like, for your audience, but also for yourself. And then also, so tonight later on, I'll do another live. You'll be inviting to join me as well so that we can hit the whole world time zones, right? I know some of you are sleeping right now, but you're going to be up later today. So yeah, we are here together, and I want this vortex of love to continue and kind of go all over and wrap you in so much powerful dust power so that you are inspired to show up today. Okay. And then the other thing I want to tell you is to remind you to come to the Facebook group if you want to play. We have a game called Play Book Launch. And then there are things to win as soon as when you order the book, when you share posts, like screen capture everything. If you want to come to the group, there is a post where you put your screen captures, you show me what you've done. And then for each action, I give you a star. And at the end, on Sunday, I'll add up all the stars and make sure you use the hashtag SML book, and then add up all the stars, and then you'll get either the strategy session, which is 500 USD, or the Yeti mic for your podcast or your videos, which is about 200. And then there is an amazing selfie stick and tripod that comes like in one piece that you can have as well as a gift. So if you want to play and use all the action you took for the book, screen capture everything and make it count in the Facebook group so that you can be part of the potential, rewarded, amazing friend that you are for the book and for myself. I'm going to take one little question that I had yesterday with the 5 minutes we have left. Just want to make sure, where is it? Oh, here we go. And we'll continue after, but so why would you write a book? I was asked this question, and so yesterday I did some answers, but I could do another type of answer for today. I told you that number one, I always find that I don't have enough room and time and it's too much to do or to say everything I want to say in one post. So if you have a message you want to really take the time to unfold and develop, a book is an amazing way, because now instead of giving my business card, I'm going to say, read my book. You want to work with me? Read my book, right? Because you may not like me, not in a human way, but that as well. But that's another story. But you may not like my approach. You may not like the fact that before we touch any post, we're going to do the inner work. That's it. That's my rule. Because I know now that whatever you bring to a woman entrepreneur in terms of visibility, you can bring the best strategy, the best tactics. Nothing's going to work until you do the inner work. So that's why now we start with a 3 months inner work intensive. That's it. And I even have a program that is just that, if that's something you're interested in. But this is a non-negotiable. We start with the inner visibility, so that when you're ready to show up and write your prices and show up consistently and build a connection with your family online, then you are able to observe who you are, where are you stopping, and you know where you're coming from, so that you don't stop anymore, right? So that's why that's one of the reasons I wrote the book. That's to help you more understand my approach to online marketing and how you completely redesign your relationship to social media, or to, I say social media, but it could be any online public appearance or even offline, because what you apply to social media, you can apply it to your offline life as well. So the other thing is, I wanted to share is that it allowed me to excavate the key stories of my life and connected the dots with my existence. So that's quite profound, right? Writing a book based on as a self-help book, because that's a goal. It's a self-help book. I had to really excavate key stories. So key stories are amazing because you need your stories for your marketing. So, and I was able to connect the dots, and it makes everything, that's the beauty of being 49. Everything makes sense from my birth to now. So that was one of the reasons I wanted to connect. So last year I wrote a book which was a bestseller, and it was a collective book. I had chapter 10, and then that was kind of my first approach to it, where I picked one story, my story around addiction. So I learned how to become vulnerable and use my very vulnerable story in a way that could inspire people. So to tell you the truth, some people bought my programs just by reading the chapter. Now, that's also the power of a book. You know, if someone fall in love with you, they want to buy everything from you because they know, they feel inside of their body that you are the one. And that connects you with your intuition, right? So now, the other reason why I would write a book is because it's a healing journey. When you write a book, you triage what's a bleeding wound and the scar, as I was explaining earlier. You have to triage what are your bleeding wounds of life that you don't need to put in your book. And then you can triage what is now a golden scar. For example, generational traumas, and how does that influence your visibility online, right? So all the golden scars that you have within you are amazing to help you tell your story and connect with your audience. Another reason why I would write a book, and I'll stop there and I'll continue in a few hours, is that you can honor, for me, was an amazing way to honor the persons who are milestones in my life, right? The people who are really the key people who really help me make a shift. So in the book, I honor my parents, I honor my kiddo, I honor my partner, my mentors, my coaches, strangers. You know how you meet strangers and then you talk maybe 5 minutes, but then something happens, it's not a coincidence, right? So those a book about a self-help book about your own story and how it shaped how you approach your business and who you are a business owner and how you help your clients. Those are one of the many things that it helped me to do. So I know that it's now 8 here, 7 Eastern time, and I have to go. So remember, show up today. Grab the book, read a few pages, read a chapter here and there, leave me a review with whatever you received, and you can come back later when you read the full book and do another review. For the next few days, I'm going to be collecting reviews to help Amazon to bring the book to even more women entrepreneurs. So please don't hesitate, don't make it perfect. Just do the review as soon as you have a kind of a look at the book and have a few pages, and then if you feel a sting, then that means you're ready for a little review, and then you can come back to do another review later on when you read the full book. So I'm going to post actually videos about how to put a review on, because I find it sometimes it's not obvious on Amazon where to put your review. So I'll show you that a little later. I thank you so much. I love that time we spent together. I see like people popping up here and there. And I know there is a lot of replayers. Like yesterday's videos had a lot of replays. Know that even if I don't see you with my eyes, I see you, I see you, I see you because I feel you. And that's something I've developed. My intuitive, connection with people online. It's pretty cool. And a proof, I'm just going to finish on this. The proof that your energy shows up online is I attended my very first UPW with Tony Robbins last July, where I spent 4 days with my son in a hotel room attending the UPW. And I think we were 7,000 people online, and there were 4,000 people in the UK, in Birmingham. And you could feel the energy of the people in the room over there and the people online. You could feel it. So energy goes beyond screens, okay? We are energy. So use that energy to market. And that's the work we do together. And when you get the book, you'll have a sense of this. Okay, energy people, let's go and be a beautiful, empowering human who feels their feelings all the way without judging them, and as long as you need to feel them. Ciao, ciao.